Hi all, welcome back to this webinar on tools for selling your ideas. Now this will be the third part of the program. All we want is, I hope, in fact, that you have practiced what has been taught on the first two videos. If you haven't practiced, do that, because that's what is going to bring your idea on the floor, and you should be able to sell your ideas, right? So as a recap, I'll just give you, there are the first two parts which we have covered. In that, like, first part we have covered is trial close. In trial close, there are two types of trial close: open-ended and close-ended trial close. Open-ended trial close is to gather more and more information, and close-ended trial close is to, as it says, close, right? Or bring things to conclusion or get a confirmation, right? Open-ended trial close provides lot information, so that, like, it has to be, the question has to be based on getting more and more information. So you ask question in a manner where, right, you gather information, and for that you use the WH frame questions, right? And for close-ended questions, remember, it has to be a conclusive question. So it just requires one word as an answer. For in both these cases, remember that the answer has to be, right, what you seek. So you have to frame the question in a manner for the answer the way you want it. So you will, so that it has got, that's the reason it is, right, a verbal thermometer, and it provides a positive response. So practice a lot, right? And again, this webinar has been organized by Alma Mater Sparks. And if you see, these are all the links. If you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, great. If you haven't, please, right, watch this video, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, like, tell your friends so that they can also, right, add up and learn a lot of things. So continuing with today's part, right, as you see, right, today we are going to cover something called as the third party story. Oh, before that, I just forgot that we have not yet covered the second part. So the second part of the video that we have covered was of fact benefit selling. Now, fact benefit selling is used to cover, right? It's basically to cover up the defense mechanism. So every time any person you come across, right, is good, or you're selling any product, any idea that you want to sell, right, the person is going to have a defense mechanism. He is not readily going to say that, oh yeah, if you have the product, I'm just going to buy it. It's not. For any product, they will have the first buyer's remorse. So what you will do is, right, you will first cover it up with the fact benefit selling. The moment you do the fact benefit selling, the door opens. It's like, I'm defensive of buying something. It can be anything, right? So the moment I'm defensive, what we need to do is we need to use fact benefit selling. And fact benefit selling can be done for anything under the sun. I repeat, it can be anything under the sun. And all you have to do is fill in the blanks. The ingredients of fact benefit selling, as we have discussed in the previous video also, is the fact is dash, the benefit is dash, but the real advantage is dash. And then you use the trial close, which synchronizes with the real advantage. So remember that if you just do this fill in the blanks, right, you should be able to remove the defense of selling any product, anybody's defense who wants to buy a product. It can be anything. Remember that. This is the key to the door. It's as simple as that. So if you want to sell something to anybody, right there, right? If you know fact benefit selling, you should be able to sell and pitch it properly. So continuing with today's session, today we are going to cover, the first thing that we are going to cover is called as the third party story, which is the third of the tool of the trade. So the first tool, trial close, the second tool is fact benefit selling, and the third tool is third party story. Now, a third party story, what it does, right? One, it creates credibility. So if you want to create a product and the product needs to have credibility, nobody wants to be the first person to buy things. For example, I have a pin, let's say today, right now, this is a paper pin, right, which is to be used. Now, a paper pin, right, if I say that, oh, I have invented this paper pin, right? And Zaira, you are the first person to use this paper pin. Would you buy it, Zaira?
At first, no.
Yeah. So, and if I build a plane, right? My idea is build a plane to fly. And if I say, Spandana, you are the first person to get onto the plane, what would you do? Would you get into the plane?
No.
Same way for everybody else. So what happens is, right, it's like nobody wants to be the first person to do it. So, and same thing, what happens is it induces the sheep mentality. So it's like if I tell that there are already 10,000 people who are flying on my plane, right, and they're absolutely safe, right, won't you do that? Would you? If a lot of
Yes.
people have already done that? Yes. So if there are few things, and what has been scientifically, it has been shortlisted, right? The third party story has been shortlisted into 4 parts. One is to create credibility. Second is to induce sheep mentality. Sheep mentality, in Hindi we say bhed ki chal. Bhed bakri, right? When it goes, the sheep goes in
In a
herds.
group, yeah.
Exactly. It always goes in a group, right? Wherever one goes, everything else goes. Why? Why that happens?
Because people think that if one person is going somewhere, he must be going right, and people follow him.
Yeah, so that's how it's. And what about the sheeps? Why they go in the group? Anybody? Why do sheep go in the group? You don't know?
So that no one can harm them if they are all together.
So when they are all together, so what happens is when the sheep's flock, they go together, right? It's because right, as you said, no one can harm them. That's one thing. But then they always fear if they go alone, right? The the other animal will just hunt on them, so that like if there is a lion or a tiger or any other. So they always are on groups, because wherever one goes to protect themselves, the same is the mentality for humans, right? That's the reason whenever you see an ad, right, you relate. So there is a brand ambassador, right? If that person has done it, right, I can also do it. It's like Somebody, right, when Tendulkar comes and tells that, okay, I drink Boost. So what others are going to think is, oh, Tendulkar is drinking Boost, so I can also drink Boost. So it's the same way, right? If I say that like your neighbor just bought it, certain things, you will also want to buy that because the neighbor has already got it. So if somebody's already used a certain thing, right, and so it increases your confidence to go for that particular thing. So it induces to sheep mentality. And the third thing, as I told already, to tell people they are not the first to do this, right? Because nobody likes, as we discussed earlier, nobody likes to be the first person to do it, right? And there is always a buyer's fear. So first, right, there is a defense, right, which we are removing through fact benefit selling, right? And as a prequel to that, we are asking them questions for through trial closes to get more and more information about them, so that we find that one particular hot spot which we can, right, sell for. So continuing that, now third party story again is simple as, right, your fact benefit, filling the blanks for fact benefit selling. Now the ingredients of third party story are name, place, time, reason, and trial close. So every third party story, whenever you say, it has to have this 5 things. It has to have the name, it has to have the name, place, time, when that happened, reason why that happened, and trial close. So I'll give you an example, right? Somebody has the fear of buying a course that you're selling, right? You have a course that you want to sell, but then that person has the fear of, right, buying that course. Why they will have the fear? Because they start feeling that they are the first person to do it. So what you will do, right? Give me one reason why they feel uh, a fear for not buying a course. Anybody? Any reason? Like let's say uh, they want to buy a course for mathematics. Okay, what can be the fear?
That it is not good enough.
That it is not good enough for what? I mean, just give let's say a clear, if it is not good enough, for what reason it can be. Like it can be multiple reasons for that. So if you can be more specific. Anybody? Why students don't want to study mathematics?
Not confident,
Hmm?
don't like this subject.
Yeah, they don't like the subject, right? And they feel, right, mathematics is the most difficult subject
Yes,
in the world, correct?
yes,
Okay, now you are going to sell a mathematics course to somebody, right, who is going to who is having the feeling that mathematics is the most difficult course in the world. You got it? So how are you going to sell it? First, you gathered the information that the person, through trial close, you found out. What you found out? That this person is feeling mathematics is the most difficult subject in the world. So what you do? You did the fact benefiting to open the door for through the defense. So what you will do, fact benefiting for that, you will say that the fact is this is a mathematics course. The benefit is that you will be able to learn mathematics, calculate all this. But the real advantage is it not only teaches you to have learn your calculative skills, but it also teaches you life skills. So what would you prefer? Having something in life which just does not teach you anything, or a subject which not only teaches you the content of the subject but also life skills?
Life skills.
Correct. So now what we have done is we have opened, so he's agreeing to one part that okay, mathematics has something more than just calculation. Okay, but he still feels that though mathematics has so many things, but it is the most difficult subject. So how would you remove that? So what we are going to do is we are going to use a third party story. So let's think that Kishore Shankar Narayan does not like mathematics. He feels that mathematics is the most difficult subject. So what I will tell Kishore Shankar Narayan that, okay, you know, Kishore, what, let me tell you something, like you feel that mathematics is the most difficult subject in the world. We had, Hariharan, who also felt the same, and he was, he used to stay in Mulund, the place just very near to your place. And what happened was one fine day he came up to me and said that, oh, this is the most difficult subject, I can't do it. So he felt that it is the most difficult subject. But when I told him that it does not only give all the calculative skills, it also gives you the life skills, and it is very easy to learn. We have made English as the easy subject to learn. The same way we have made mathematics as easy to learn. So all these subjects, what we are trying to do is we are going to get it easy to learn. The moment he understood that this is a very easy subject to learn, mathematics, he said yes to taking up this course. So Kishore, won't you like to do the same what Hariharan did? Everybody understood the flow it went in?
Yes, sir.
So what I've done, I've used name of a third person who used the course. So the name of the person was Hariharan. Where that happened, I told him. When that happened, I told him. I gave the reason why he felt that it was difficult. And the same way, like you feel, that person also felt the same. So that for that purpose, we have this, when he found. So you have pen and paper, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So what I want you to do is,
Yes, sir.
along with third party story, add something which is, I've not mentioned in the slide, but then you can add something, you can add 3 words. One is feel, felt, found. You have written? I repeat
Yes.
again, it's feel, felt, found. So what you're going to do is this. I understand what you feel or how you feel. Right? Hundreds of them also felt the same. But when they found that this was the most suitable option for them, they chose to pick this option. Won't you like to do the same? Noted down?
Yes, sir.
Can you read it
Yes, sir.
out?
Yes, sir.
One of you can read it out.
I understand what you feel.
Hmm.
Other people have also felt those things.
Hmm.
Once they found out
Hmm.
the advantage of this,
Hmm.
so they changed.
They chose to pick up the option. Okay.
They chose to pick.
Yeah, the change. So any option, any product. So when I say option, it can be any product. So one is like the way you are feeling, the other also felt the same. So I'm going to give a third party reference saying that, okay, that those people also felt the same. Right. But then when they found out that this was very beneficial, right, they started using the product. They bought the product, they took the product. Won't you like to be, right, as intelligent as them? Zara, would you like to be as intelligent as the other person or better than the other person?
Better than the other.
Yeah. So like you will be like, you would like to be intelligent, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you remember that your trial close, whenever you're using the trial close, right? I wanted the answer as yes. I wanted the answer as better than the other. So I asked the question accordingly.
Okay.
So whatever I want, you will only speak that. That's what sales is all about. Right? I want you to buy the product. It's not because you want to buy the product. It eventually like, okay, you would also want to have the product. But as a salesperson, right, I want to sell. So there are a lot of times, if you look into your house, right, there are so many products that you have not even used for the last 6 months. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah, Spandana, you look around your house and last 6 months you have not even used or you don't even remember that that thing exists,
Yes.
but you still bought it.
Yeah.
Or your parents bought it or whoever in the family bought it. The reason they bought it is at that particular time, right, the salesperson, right, either gave them a good third party story or good fact benefiting he did. It's like consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, right? This happens. Now, what we are learning here is the scientific way, how everything has been put together in this small packet. Got it? So every
Yes.
time, right, you want to sell a product, like for Alma Mater, earlier when it was right to sell any kind of course, it was really difficult because nobody was knowing about Alma Mater. Now we have so much of evidence that we have trained so many people. So if you go to the gallery, you will have all the pictures, you'll have all the companies that we are associated with about us. So last 16 years, we have gathered so much of right credibility. So you can always use those things to right sell the product. So same way, initially it is going to be a third party story. It may be true, it may not be true. Initially, for the first time when you sell the product, right? For example, a lot of times what happens is like people earlier, when they used to sell door to door, right? What they used to do is they used to take the product and tell them your neighbor just bought it. For example, there are two neighbors, right? We have Rahul and we have, let's say, Spandana, right? I will go and tell Rahul that Spandana just bought it. So what is Rahul going to do? He will buy, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does, right now, Spandana never bought it, but I told Rahul that Spandana bought it. So Rahul bought it. So it was a third party story. It was not true that Spandana bought it. But then the third party story made Rahul buy the product.
So the
Okay.
third party thing can be like a lie too.
It can be
Just to convince.
initially, right? It's going to be a lie. For the first time, because if you tell them you are the first person to buy this product, nobody is going to buy. Okay.
Okay,
But
like that.
yeah, but what happens is, right now when I go to Spandana and say that Rahul bought it, is it going to be a lie?
No.
Right?
No.
So it
Yeah.
starts with a third party story, right? But eventually it goes to become a true party story.
Okay, got it.
Got it? So now initially if I told, right, let's say 16 years back, where if I had to sell a product, I was lucky because I had ready-made audience for Alma Mater. But then if let's say there was a brand new company and brand new thing that came up, okay, and in that I had to sell the product, right? I have to tell that, okay, this is, I have to tell, okay, that person bought it so that this person buys it. And same way, I would have told that. So what happens is it's a journey from the third party story to true party story. Got it? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you guys are right. So let's say when you're selling right courses for Alma Mater, or you're selling something that you already have as an idea, right? What you will do, you will initially, right, to create that confidence. You have the confidence that your product is good, but others should also have the. Now, let's say if you don't want to lie at all, right? It's not like a lie because it's not harmful because you have the product which is good. So sometimes what happens is a lot of people start saying, you should buy this because I have used it and it is working great for me. So you are not the first person to use it. I have already used it. Have you heard this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So you see all those students referring students. I've already taken up this course. You also take up this course. So that is like the third party story on self. Not only you, when somebody is going to trust me, I'll say that I've already used it. It's working wonderful. So a lot of people who give reviews about products, they give reviews after they use it themselves. So initially, also at the first go itself, it can start as a true party story. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So it's not really a lie, but it can be, right, be a lie, to put it. So whenever a salesperson is telling you, right, that person bought it, this person bought it, right, remember that the salesperson has the confidence in the product, but it need not be a true story. You got it? It's just to improve your confidence to buy the product. Clear? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me give you the recap again for third party story. It is A, to create credibility, B, to induce sheep mentality, C, to tell people they are not the first to do it or to buy it, and D, to remove buyers' fear. Understood?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
no?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this was the third tool of the trade, which we covered now, right? We'll take a break for a few minutes to understand, right, what comes the next. So thank you. Just I want you to recollect what you have done for the third party story, what you need to do for the third party story. And then we will continue with the next tool of the trade. Thank you.